All right, everybody, welcome to a new perspective on many last words here with Wild Bill and my little kitty Sunny. I think she might be in frame, she might not be. I can't really see. The camera's kind of far away from me, so I thought I'd give you guys an exclusive look into what it looks like on my average Sunday afternoons, right here on the couch. Got the Cubs game on right now. They're currently playing the Pittsburgh Pirates, looking for a sweep. Would be nice going into the final stretch of the MLB season. So, got Sunny right on the cord. She's trying to eat through it. I'll do my best to prevent it. We got a nice, probably 45-minute interview with Peyton. He gave me plenty of time to really digest and dive into both the Eagles and the Chicago Bears. So, let's start off with that. Thanks again for coming back to Many Last Words. And here is my good friend Peyton. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back for episode number 2 of Many Last Words, the final say of the NFL Week 2. Peyton, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. How you feeling? How's everything going?
I'm well, brother. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Got off to a super late start today. I woke up probably like maybe an hour ago. Had to squeeze in breakfast and got it done.
Hey,
Got Sunny
look.
too. Sunny's got breakfast. Our podcast producer over there munching on some paper.
There's nothing wrong with getting a little Z's, getting some extra time in bed, man. I think we should all appreciate those mornings that are slow.
That's what it's all about. What's how's your week? Tell me about anything new.
Yeah, 3-0 in fantasy, 2-0 with the Philadelphia Eagles. Um, this upcoming weekend, my fiance will be out of town with my good friend Will, he's the Commanders fan I reference on the pod all the time. We'll talk about his dumbass takes later when we get to that game. Um, but his fiance, they're getting married like 2 or 3 weeks before us. So a lot of the stuff that we like have done had been planned around the same time. So it's pretty fun to go through this process with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, they're out of town. The girls are going to some part in Florida. So the guys are going to be bowling this weekend. Um, I'm excited. We might go shopping for his wedding. His wedding's in Mexico, the white part of Mexico, not the actual Mexico, Mexico. Let me make that very clear, since
Nice.
Bill is Mexican American and really knows the real Mexico. Uh,
Cancun or Cabo.
exactly. See, well, I can't remember. I think it's Cabo. Or it might be Cancun. I can't remember, but one of the two.
Same thing.
Yeah, yeah. um, but I'm excited. Hopefully, we'll go shopping this weekend for his wedding. He wants it to be a very relaxed beach wear kind of vibe to it.
I like that.
So yeah, it'll be cool, man. It'll be really cool. How was your week, man? How are you looking?
Honestly, it was a pretty busy week. Fran's dad turned 70. I know we wished him a happy birthday at the end of last episode. So
Yep.
we had Fran's sister fly in from Indiana. I picked her up at LAX at, what was it, like 10:30 Friday night? You would assume at 10:30 there would not be as much traffic at LAX. You
How
would
much
be
was it?
absolutely incorrect.
How long did it take you to get home?
Dude, it took like 25 minutes to get out of the airport
Damn.
just to get out of
Just
the
like
loop.
the immediate airport took 25 minutes.
Yep.
She got
Then
in on a Friday?
on a Friday night after like
Well, yeah,
at
that makes
10:30.
sense. That makes sense. The city's still alive. That makes sense.
It's
If he
ridiculous.
was like a Thursday, I'd be like, okay, that's kind of wild. But a Friday, that makes sense. It's the weekend, baby. Everyone wants to live in the big lights. Everyone wants the big city of LA.
As if that wasn't enough, also. Yeah, we got up to the valley.
Mhm.
Absolute no signs. Nothing letting us know. The 405 was closed. So then I had to figure that out. It took like an hour and a half to get home.
Do you not use maps?
I did. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I'm sorry you had to waste your time
Oh,
driving
dude.
around the
It
world.
was it was crazy. And then the next day, we helped out a lot with setting up and tearing down. Um, I was told we'd be done by 9. No such thing.
Is that not? I know we're a sports podcast, but let's talk for a second.
We're a
Is
real
that
life podcast.
yeah, we are a real life podcast. Is that not one of the most frustrating things when it just like something that you plan, especially on like the days that you have off, to be pretty quick, shouldn't take too long, and it ends up just taking forever.
Yes, very
I know
much
it's a
so.
first world problem. It's like saying, "Oh, I hate being sick." Yeah, everyone hates being sick, but like some of us don't deal with that as well as others. I will say, patience, I guess, is what we're working on here
Yeah, I'm
on
I'm
the
usually pretty
many
good
words.
about it, but I don't know. This time it's just like, ah,
Did you
okay.
have plans for later in the day, or
We did. We got invited out to a different thing. We both wanted to attend, but ended up not being able to. It just wouldn't have been worth it to make that drive out and have
yeah?
like 40 minutes left at the location that it was at. And then the very next day, there was another birthday party in Fran's family that we went out to. That was cool. It was chill, nothing too crazy. Got me out of my head from football for a little bit.
Which we will touch on.
We will definitely touch on. We'll take a firm grasp of it. And yeah, man, it was a busy weekend, and it's just been a chill few days.
Nice, good. I would
So,
like to ask you though, thank you for telling me about all the birthdays. Happy birthday to everyone in Fran's family. Sounds like they got a lot to celebrate this week, and hopefully, you guys had a little bit of a carne asada. I went to my first carne asada actually a couple
oh,
weeks ago.
nice.
I didn't tell you about that. Yeah, I got a couple Latino friends that threw some shit on the grill, and it was fire. I could see why y'all love it so much because it's really, I mean, just like Black people have the cookout. Same
Hmm.
thing. Good time, good music, good food.
It's a good vibe more than anything.
Yeah, I can get down with that. But I have a question for you.
Yes.
Seeing that Victoria's gonna be gone this weekend, um, what is Wild Bill's bachelor trip gonna look like one day?
My bachelor trip, I have actually thought about it. I'm trying to do the Wrigley rooftops.
Ooh, that's up your alley for sure. Yeah,
It's all you can eat, all you can eat, all you can drink. Uh,
yeah, that'd be fun.
yeah,
That'd
just
be
go to the
really
beach
fun.
after.
And then what would you do on the weekend that Fran would be gone for her bachelorette?
I could see myself going two different ways. It's a very like definitive fork in the road.
Hmm.
I either don't do anything and just game all weekend because I can get away with it.
We're all the same, bro. We're
Yeah.
all the same.
Or I hit up all my
Or,
friends, we go out,
yeah,
drink all day.
also something you can't get away with when the girls
Exactly.
are around. That is exactly what my two thoughts were. Do I want to play Fortnite all day and night? Uh, www.twitch.tv/TTV pay one this one if you want to follow.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, either do I want to game all weekend or would I like to watch college football all day Saturday and then watch NFL all day Sunday with the
Hmm.
boys, with the absolute boys.
The absolute boys.
We'll see.
Maybe a little bit of both.
The jury's open. Yeah, we'll see.
It doesn't have to be one or the other.
The world is my oyster this weekend.
That's right. You have free will.
I literally I said that on Monday. Um, li- so I took me a little sick day, a little mental health day on
Mhm.
Monday. Took the day off. Yeah, I guess I could have shared that with you. And I was like, I have unlimited free will today. I want to do whatever I want to do. Victoria got off work a little bit earlier than normal. Our friend Sierra came in from she lives like 20 minutes outside of town. Drove in. She got off work at like 11. Sierra and I went to this really good burger place for lunch at 12 before Victoria got off. And then we watched Inglorious Bastards. She had never seen it.
Oh,
She loved it. Just her and I. And then Victoria got home and we went bowling before watching the Monday night game. And
nice.
yeah, it was like, right? Like it's an infinite free will on Monday. And I just implore if anyone's listening to this, use your free will to do whatever you want. And we were saying like, damn, the place we went to, they stopped doing happy hours. The bowling alley doesn't do it anymore. But we were just like,
So,
yeah, I'm still gonna get a drink. I'm still gonna just like relax. Like it isn't something that we get to do very often, and I think we need to do like why do I have to wait till Friday or Saturday
uh-huh.
to like enjoy myself? So
For
yeah,
special occasions.
yeah, for a special exactly. So you know what? I took that moment to enjoy that moment. So
Yeah,
it
who
was fun.
cares? It's Wednesday afternoon. Let's have a margarita. It's about to be Wednesday afternoon. You know what? In 1 minute's gonna be Wednesday afternoon for you.
What you trying to get into, Willie? If only we didn't have thousands of miles in between us, brother.
You know why they call me Wild Bill?
I do know what they call you, Wild Bill. But let's jump into it for the folks that tune in for the sports side of this pod. For whatever reason, Bill always likes starting off, as he says, let's start off with Los Birds. Uh, let's
Gotta
dive
keep it
in, bro.
light. Gotta keep it light.
When we finally, because I hope to God we don't go undefeated because you will ultimately end up losing in the playoffs. I hope whenever we lose, we'll switch the Bears first for the
Sure.
Eagles.
I'm down with whatever.
um, so the game was definitely the score did not reflect, in my opinion, what the game actually was. I think we were in control of this game
Mhm.
from start to finish. I think Pat is trying to be uphill with not as much talent around him. He has a lot of injuries at receiver. His defense is not injured, which I think was a great game on our part to control the clock. It was the quickest game of the day. It was just shy of 3 hours. It's like 2:58 or 2:59, I think I saw. Um, that is in tribute to how much we run the ball, converting on fourth downs, converting on third and shorts. We're putting ourselves in position to really have that time of possession, which I believe that fits our team. The offensive line that we have, the running backs plural that we have, even AJ Dillon and the second year mate out of South Carolina. Why am I forgetting his name? White boy. Um, Very good running back. But yeah, and then obviously you have Saquon Barkley, the best running back in football right now. Um, I think I don't like moving to this defensive side of the ball. I don't like Cooper DeJean playing the outside. I either leave him outside or leave him in the slot. I don't like the because we're weak at that position right now, that they're kind of mixing and matching on our base defense to put him outside. I think it provides us to actually have a hole, as well as it makes him tired. Like I want everyone to be at their tip top position and shape and being able to perform at the highest level because that's the best ball that we're going to get. And speaking of being out of shape, I know I'm running through this a lot because there's a lot of games that we got to cover. Um, Jalen Carter, I love you, bud. Happy to have you back. You definitely showed us why you are the best defensive tackle in football this week. I just need more cardio and condition out of you. He the touchdown run that Pat had, he was able to escape contain because Jalen Carter just had a loaf on the play,
Mhm.
dove. He was playing a five technique and crashed the B gap into the defensive tackle and didn't just kind of gave they kind of just flung his body and gave up. And then Pat got the right side. Especially you can't let a right-handed quarterback roll to his right that easily. And Pat just took off and got into the end zone. Um, but yeah, man, I think that the game was exactly what Jalen Hurts has been telling us, man. I think he wants to win the game no matter how it looks. Chris Jones, you're an idiot. You're you're talking about stats from a guy that, in the grand scheme of things, Andy Reid teaches, and I can say this because he was an Eagles coach, to win the game, whether that's running the ball, passing the ball, special teams. It doesn't matter how it looks, just win the game. And I know Andy preaches that to them. So while Andy, I know, is an offensive guru, he still just wants to win the game, and Andy will put and do whatever he can to do that. Andy's not going to say we're going to throw the ball 400 times because he wants to put up all these gaudy stats. And like
Mhm.
Andy cares about winning, as one of the most winningest coaches in NFL history. Um, so yeah, I think Chris Jones is a freaking idiot. Um, but shout out to Jalen for snapping back and being like, we won the effing game. So
Yeah.
that's on brand for my quarterback, and I love that out of him. Talk your shit, Jalen. You're the fucking best. Sorry for cursing for the kids, but yeah, we have the best quarterback in the league. Why? Because he wins games. We play to win the game. Like, what are we
Correct.
talking? What are we talking about here? What were your thoughts on the Lost Birds?
Yeah, I mean the whole game was just tense. It was almost like it wasn't the most fun watch from an outside perspective, but it had
I
the
can see that.
playoff atmosphere. It felt like the Chiefs were kind of like showing us what they're like brand was more than like we know what the Birds are. We know they're going to grind out the clock. We know it's run first, great defense, and that's just it. I mean, there was no surprises with the Eagles in their game. Um, like you were saying, who cares that Jalen didn't have like the craziest stat line?
I don't
Doesn't
care.
matter. What matters is 2-0. Um, and yeah, it's really interesting to see in real time. I think they're a bad team, the Chiefs? No, but they're definitely like falling off of the cliff of like being the class of the NFL. And we're seeing the Birds are the grinders of the NFL. I think they're better than Green Bay. I think they're better than any team that I can really think of, unless something crazy happens. And so I think this game was telling in the early season. You saw it before the season started, and you thought, "Oh, this is going to be the craziest matchup of the early NFL season." Now that we're going through it in real time, I don't necessarily think it is, but it is like I just said, very telling on both teams. Um, as far as when you were talking about Cooper DeJean and not wanting to move him around, what do you think is like the fix for that? Do you think Howie goes out and gets another cornerback? Is there another guy on the roster?
We have yeah, so we signed someone, I don't want to butcher his name. Um yeah, we signed someone and late into the preseason. And he's great. Um, it's just, are we going to see him? Because the team still believes in um, Adoree Jackson, but the guy's name is, I just looked it up real quick, Jacorian Bennett. Jacorian Bennett we got from the Raiders, funny enough. We were talking about the Raiders last week, and your part fandom for them. Jacorian Bennett had the best, I think it was man-to-man coverage last season, in a certain amount of snaps. He single-handedly held T. Higgins and um, um, Jamar Chase to like one or two catches apiece when they played them last season. He's a good corner. I'm not sure why he hasn't gotten on the field more. He also showed signs of success in the preseason. He played in I think the last preseason game for us because we picked him up very, very late. Um, but yeah, man, I don't think Adoree Jackson is the answer for us. He's too slow, he's old, and his technique just doesn't look good.
Hmm.
So I think the answer would be to give Jacorian Bennett a shot, especially since let's just give him a shot, throw him out there because we can see Adoree's not doing it. And then how he's going to do his magic, he's going to get us a corner by the deadline, and then we're going to keep it pushing. But we just need something, a spark or a new player out there just to really cancel out and say, okay, Adoree's not it, and Jacorian isn't it, or Jacorian is it, and Adoree's gonna be a great backup for us. Like that's what I need them to make a decision instead of just kind of lingering with this. And I know Vic Fangio is a no nonsense coach; he'll figure it out. Um, and I didn't give this guy a shout out yet, but Zadarius Smith coming in late, as another late signing from Howie, has played great these first 2 weeks. He got minimal snaps week one. He's got a few more snaps this week, and he's been playing fantastic. I love seeing that out of a veteran pickup. He's supposed to be a replacement for Brandon Graham, and that's what Howie has told him. Like, hey, we want you to fill the shoes of what Brandon Graham was for that young defensive line. So. I love what I'm seeing out of Zadarius Smith.
Nice. It doesn't feel good to have a GM that cares and really wants to see the team succeed.
Like I said, I have to deal with this with the Sixers, so I understand your frustration. You're like, all we need is one more piece, or all we need is for you to like you said last week. You've gone through three different iterations, maybe even four if you go back to Rex Grossman of bad offensive line play, but great skill positions around him. And yet no one understands that you need an offensive line to play this game. Caleb Williams is going to get hit into the dirt to the point where he can't properly play the position and then mentally will end up throwing off his back foot like Jay Cutler
Mm.
because he just is he's trying to survive, man. He's just trying to survive back there.
Yeah, I was just shuffling through all the different offensive lineman names, and just all they make me do is shake my head. Any closing thoughts from the Eagles game? Who do you guys have next week? What's before you
We
go into the
have
next section?
um let me check. We have coming up the Rams, I knew that, at noon. My buddy was talking crap to me. My brother's friend that was Preston's friend that was in Preston's wedding, Deontay. He went to Naperville Central, or no, excuse me, North Central College is what I wanted to say. Ran track there. He's a big Rams fan. How that works, you're from Illinois and you're a Rams fan, but what I mean, St. Louis, I
St.
guess.
Louis made a little sense.
Yeah,
Still weird.
yeah. And so he's a big Rams fan. He's already talking mess. It's in Philly, so I like our chances with that.
Hmm.
Come back home. Um, and I mean, Matt Stafford is out, I believe, right? He's injured. Am I wrong?
I'm not sure. I don't think he is. I have him on my bench in fantasy. I haven't seen anything crazy about him.
Because wasn't
I know
huh?
there's a lot of quarterback injuries.
Well, we'll do a better job of talking back on this next week. But yeah, I think for the most part, I don't think he was in, but I could be wrong. But if he is, that's a hell of a guy. And Devontae Adams is still looking great in his 30s. I am kind of nervous about that, especially like how I just mentioned. We only have one really bona fide corner in Quinion. And then in the slot, I believe in Cooper DeJean being able to guard Puka Nacua. But if they put Puka on the outside and you got Devontae on the other, because I'm assuming what they're going to tee it up as is they're not going to use Puka as much as they have in the past, in the slot and motions because that's where Coop lives. They're probably going to flex him to the outside to have to line up against Adoree or Jacorian, depending on who they start. And that I think that's barbecue chicken for them. So our D line has to get home early so that Matt's not getting a clean picture. And our linebackers have to really be flying around. I think we see a little bit more pressure this week out of Vic Fangio and our defense, sending pressure, I mean, from our linebackers to really disrupt Matt Stafford because we cannot let them get comfortable with those two receivers specifically.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the key. Just making and Matt Stafford, especially at this point in his career, is not as mobile as he used to be. So
Yeah,
getting in his face is probably the major key, and then the Eagles' offense just being who they are. I think that combination will be a win.
absolutely. Yeah, but those are my last thoughts, man. I'm excited. 2-0. I mean, it's it's better to be 2-0 than 0-2 or 1-1. Like we're I mean, I'm not overly excited about how it's looked that we've won. So I'm not coming in here banging my chest, but we won. Like that we did what we were supposed to do. And so I'm happy. Can it look better? Can we clean some stuff up? Absolutely. And I think that Nick Sirianni and this coaching staff is going to do that for us.
Hmm.
That's enough time on my birds, man. Let's dive into your pain, man. Let's talk to me. This is your therapy session. The floor is yours, Bill.
Peyton, do you remember last week when you asked me for the Detroit Lions, what would it take to get back on track? And I gave you a nice long answer. I gave you a long answer and a short answer. The long one being, something about rallying around what's his face, Dan Campbell, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But the short answer was a little more astute and a little more concise. And do you remember what that short answer was for the Detroit Lions to get back on track?
Hmm. I don't. Remind me, Bill.
You play the Chicago Bears.
I do remember. I wanted to hear you say it again.
And I was absolutely correct. 52 points. The last time they gave up that many points, at least, was that Sunday night game 2014 against Green Bay when they were losing 42-0 at halftime. I didn't talk to anybody for 3 days after that day. I had to go to a party after this game.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
At the halftime, it was 28-14. What's going through your head?
How do the Detroit Lions get 6 seconds back on the clock after running out of time after spiking the ball? How does that happen? Because if you play it by the book and you go into halftime without giving them an extra 6 seconds, it's 21-14, and we get the ball to start the second half. So who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just am I'm at such a loss as to how that happened. Since when has that been a rule? I've never seen that implemented. You could see there was space between the receiver's ass and the sideline on the catch. Like where was the disconnect there? How does things like this always happen to the Bears? How are we always at the butt end of these decisions? Why? I
McCaskey,
do have a theory. I have a theory. It's not
McCaskey
it's
fan.
not very well based on anything, but my theory is that with all these officiating decisions that have a major effect on, the outcomes of games, they always favor the smaller market teams because the Chicago Bears have the largest uninterrupted market in the NFL. So they're gonna fill the seats. They're gonna have all the ticket sales. We're gonna have all the merchandising. We don't need help. Everybody else needs help.
Hmm. Okay.
That's my theory as to why we get screwed over so much by the NFL, the governing body of whatever it is that we're seeing out there. Because when I see the Bears, it's not football. I just every time I like turn the red zone because I didn't make it to the end of the game. I saw 17 go out there under center. I can't watch this.
At Wild Bill 11, if you follow him on Twitter, he did tweet that he is turning on Red Zone.
I turn to red zone and I see 30 other teams, and that's football. It's not hard. It's like they do it for a living because they're professional football players and they go out there and do what they do. But when I see the Bears, I see a joke and it hurts. We haven't been to the playoffs since 2020, and that was a weird year because it was the first time there was a 7 seed in there and we snuck
Mhm.
in.
I actually don't like that. That's a thing now.
Yeah,
It's
it's
the
weird.
seventh seed. We can get into that later in the season.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Um,
I'm down for that as a topic. But yeah, that's those are my thoughts without even getting into the game. The one positive I see out of this, Caleb doesn't look terrible. I mean, I
looks
saw
good.
improvement from week one to week two.
Yeah.
Um,
Ben,
he
Ben
was
Johnson said the same thing as well in his presser.
he was more accurate. The connection to Roma Dunze, I think by the end of the season it'll be undisputed. He is wide receiver one. I don't know what's going on with DJ Moore. I don't know what's going on with Cole Kmet. I think Cole Kmet has a grand total of one catch on the season. Our 10th overall pick, Colston Loveland, has, I believe, one catch on the season also.
How many
Second round
snaps?
pick,
How many
uh,
snaps?
he's out there a pretty decent amount.
Okay, good. Because I
Pretty
was
decent.
seeing stuff. I was seeing stuff that he wasn't. Maybe it's just they're saying that he wasn't getting like actually thrown to. But I was seeing stuff that was like, why isn't he playing? But maybe it was just not getting the ball.
He's not getting the ball. Second rounder, Luther Burden. I think one catch in garbage time from Tyson Bagent. To add on to this year's draft, the next two picks, Ozzy Drapillo, offensive tackle, healthy scratch. Defensive tackle, I can't remember his name, Shamar Turner, healthy scratch. Ryan Poles has been with the Bears for 4 seasons, has drafted zero Pro Bowlers. Said we would take the North and never give it back. He is 3-17 in the division. I just like
Ryan Poles is
what's
an idiot.
yeah. Yeah, and it looked really good when we traded the number one pick to get the number one pick. And possibly the only good pick would be to get Caleb Williams if it pans out. And that's still to be seen if it does pan out. So offensive line doesn't look good. Defensive line's getting no pressure. Tyreek Stevenson has a perfect passer rating when quarterbacks target him. Yeah, I mean it's bad. It hasn't gotten any better year after year. And I don't understand how like at the end of the season last season the defense was looking all right. And maybe it's just like the time they spent together. Or excuse me, I think the defense last year was not great. It was 2 years ago when they won 7 games with Justin Fields.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Can I offer up a little bit of hope for you, Willie?
Please.
So, if you go back in the archives of the Lions, that first year under Dan Campbell with Ben Johnson, I think they won like 3 or 4 games. New regimes, stuff like this. Like, what was the contract that Ben signed with you guys? Was it 5 years, 10 years,
I think it was 5 years, something
5 years?
reasonable.
It's gonna be some growing pains this year to really get a for well 2 reasons. Uh, to see who, because I think he mentioned this in his presser as well, to see who cares, right? Who's out there just collecting a check versus who does this freaking mean something to?
Mm-hmm.
This means something to Caleb. He's getting beat up left and right, right? He cares
Right.
about this. Um, as much as people don't really like him in Chicago, DeAndre Swift, it means something to him. This is his first real contract. He bounced around from the Lions, bounced around with Philly, but it means something to him that the Bears believed in him. Rome Odunze is trying to make the team, meaning make his second contract actually get generational wealth. It means something to Rome.
Right.
You can see it. It sucks that you guys lost Jalen Johnson, but it's clear that it means something. So speaking about how you mentioned DJ Moore, I don't think it means anything, man.
No.
I think he got his contract, and I think he gives up on routes. I think he um isn't bought in that this team can win. And I'm not at the level yet or the spot yet to want to call him a cancer to the team. I don't think it's that bad. But if he doesn't get it together, his career is going to turn out not great because he, for a while there, for like a 2, 3 year span, looked like he was unstoppable.
Right.
Like, was the next Steve Smith, like shorter receiver, very strong, feisty. Like, it looked like he was going to be something fierce. And yeah, it's just the last few years he has been okay with losing, and that's not what the people of Chicago need. Because Chicago is a very passionate sports city. I'm not the biggest fan of Chicago people, but uh, they love their sports.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the team's definitely got to figure it out and quickly.
Yeah, I think we're at a point where Ben Johnson will really like start ruling with an iron fist and get in cahoots with Ryan Poles and say like, "This isn't the team I want. Like, figure it
Hmm.
out. Move these people. Do what it takes." And it's also like I think that George McCaskey, the now owner, I think he's wanted to be in more control, and I think now that with the passing of his mother, who lived a long and prosperous life on her own right, um, now that she's out of the picture, she's not influencing anything. So I think George might be a little bit more of a gambler with certain things. So we'll see how that plays out over the next few years. I think he does want to win. He's not a football guy. He said it himself, but I think he would be willing to actually trust these guys to run this team the way that they see fit as the football guys, and not run on the laurels of my dad was the founder of the NFL, which is what Virginia was doing basically, and I wanted it done this certain way. That era of Chicago Bears is hopefully done. I'm hoping
Yeah,
that we move on from that.
she
Um,
sucked. She sucked.
yeah,
It's
she
okay.
did.
It's okay to say.
She did, and it hurt. She
Now,
seemed like
see,
a really nice lady, but she didn't know.
I don't agree with that. She didn't have a black quarterback for like 50 years. She kind of sucks in my opinion, but that's just me.
Right.
That's just me. I don't know how to move on from that, but we'll keep it pushing through. Um,
Yeah, we'll keep it pushing through.
it,
Looking ahead, we play the Cowboys on Sunday. Um,
I need
we
a win out of the Bears. I'm gonna be cheering loud and proud for the Bears.
yeah, I'm scared of CD. I love CD. He'll win me in fantasy by himself.
Yeah, but it's more of the fact that like I think the only thing that's scary is that yes, with CD, Jalen Johnson being out, who's gonna be able to actually compete down in and down out with CD on your
Sideline.
roster? You gotta hope for the refs. Gotta
No, the
hope
refs
something
don't have
happens.
our back. If nobody's got us, I know the refs don't either.
uh, Ramon George, the head NFL officiating. Um, Come on, man, throw the Bears a little bone.
Help
0-2.
us.
Yeah,
Help.
don't move on. Moving on to our next game, another NFC East division rival game, the Cowboys versus Giants. This game was crazy.
Yeah, low key
Um,
game of the week, in my opinion.
all right, man, relax. You
Yeah,
know, 33.3 million people watched the Eagles versus Chiefs game. It was the most Fox October or September game ever watched.
I did not know that.
Yeah, relax over
They just
here,
want to see
Danny.
T Swizzy,
Yeah,
and
probably.
nobody saw her. Which begs the question: is there a bun in the oven?
Um, I hope so. So then Travis can finally retire because
Yeah, that'd be sick.
that man is slow. But shout out to the Kelsey family. Yeah, I mean, if there's a kid, I know the Swifties will be happy.
I'll be happy.
Why will you be happy?
I'm a closeted Swiftie. I've been listening.
So about these Giants and Cowboys,
Anyways,
I hate that for you. I hate
have been for a while. Anyways, Cowboys Giants.
um, hey, what can we say, man? Russ was throwing moonshots, and I ain't talking about moonshine. I'm talking about ball up to the stratosphere, coming down and finding Malik Neighbors. Shout out to Malik Neighbors. That boy out of LSU can ball.
Yep.
Our trusted NFL scout that works for the Giants told me Malik Neighbors, told us Malik Neighbors was going to be um, a dog. He said that he had Malik Neighbors at the number one receiver coming out of the draft, which included what's his name, son,
Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison. Thank you, Marvin Harrison's son. Um, yeah, our scout, our trusted source, a friend of the show.
That's right, our
Uh,
insider.
yeah, our insider. Really raved about Malik, and we're seeing it here in year two. I mean, even in year one, I mean, the man had what I think 100 receptions last year. I think that he set a rookie reception score. Um, but yeah, man, I am super proud to see that scouting department hit on a few guys, including and whenever we do at this point this year see Jackson Dart, I think that he's also going to be able to be a baller because I did not believe in him at first, and now he's turned into somebody.
Hmm.
So we will see. How are your thoughts on the game?
I mean, it's another thing that I see. Like, I always just like do a reflection on the Bears on other teams. To have a kicker to kick 60 yards would be such a luxury.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's crazy. Brandon Aubrey hit those two um, field goals to win the game. His time expires in both the fourth quarter and overtime. Um, you love to see free football, just like you love to see free basketball, free baseball. Um, so to have this like extend even further, it helped take my mind off of worse things and some darker thoughts. Uh,
The Bears.
yeah, yeah, I was on red zone at that point, dude. I mean, Rust is also not as old as we think he is. He's only like
But
34,
is he
35,
34? Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, he can. I mean,
He had some rough years with Denver.
he did, and I think I don't attribute that to him. I attribute
No.
that to
I think he had a
what was
rift
that?
with Sean Payton at that time. And
I think
Nathaniel
Sean was.
Hackett. Who could
It,
forget?
that's who I blame. That's who I blame. He's 36. I blame Nathaniel Hackett, and I think at that point, I think Sean Payton knew he couldn't get the offense that he wanted to run out of Russell, and so he had to move on.
Yeah.
I think that he just didn't have his guy, just like how he had his guy in Drew. Um, I think that Russ just wasn't going to be that. So Sean tried to do everything he can to get him out of there. Not that that should be an indictment on on Russ, but yeah, I think Russ has probably 2 to 3 more years under his belt, man. He might play. We might see him play into his 40s, if we're being honest.
Yeah,
And I think
maybe we
he
can see
might.
we can push the straw back deeper into the box and get a little more juice.
like like the fries at the bottom of his bag, huh?
That's
He in
right.
his bag. All right now.
That's
All
all I
right.
really got. CD could have done more for me again, but
Did you
um,
win your week fantasy?
dude, oh, by the skin of my teeth. No, I'll show you right now because it came down to the last Monday night game. I don't think we'll be able to really touch on it, but dude, my opponent had two players on the Chargers, two skill position players, and I
Hmm.
had just Brock Bowers. It came down to damn, I don't know how do I get last week's. Ultimately, I won by 1.2 points.
Whoo!
Brock
One
Bowers had
point.
that last reception for like 5 yards. That's what put me over.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you won by the skin of your teeth,
So 1-1, back on track. This
as
is
you should be.
comeback season. The Talladega baby Jesuses will reign supreme once more.
I am 2-0, currently tied for first with Blaze and one of his college teammates, Jake Simon
Nice.
Schuster.
What's
I don't know who
your
that is.
team name?
Winning hurts, as always.
I like that.
You know I love Jalen Hurts. Come on, man. Um,
I know.
for everyone listening, we have about 5 more minutes on the pod. We would love for you in the comments if you have any teams going into next week that you always want to make sure that we're touching on or commenting on. Please leave us a comment so that we can do that. Um,
Yes.
we want to make sure that we're getting to the games and the players and the teams that you guys like the most and want to hear from us, our astute opinions on these players.
That's right. We care about the people.
Yeah, we do. Moving on. Um, to round out the NFC East, Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. I think that, and my only comment, we can actually, we won't touch about the games, but we'll talk about Jaden and then we'll talk about Joe. How about that? Does that sound okay, Will?
Let's do it.
Okay. So I have come out and said multiple times to my Commanders friend, Will, that I mentioned previously early on the podcast today, that he has dog shit opinions because he keeps telling me not to worry about Jaden Daniels, to only worry about my quarterback X, Y, and Z. I think all I've said, because I actually have Jaden Daniels as my starting quarterback in one of my fantasy leagues, all I've said is, hey, I need your mans to protect himself.
Hmm.
Didn't say that he sucks, that he's injury prone, didn't say anything. Just said, hey, I need him to start protecting himself. And that was taken as if I was doubting the skill or talent of Jaden Daniels. I was actually one of the earlier, like March of that draft year, saying that Jaden Daniels was QB2. That wasn't like crazy because by that point he won the Heisman, was having an excellent pro day draft process and everything. But I had him at QB2 behind Caleb Williams. But a lot of scouts had Drake May at QB2, and I was like, "There's no way you're putting Drake May in front of Jaden Daniels.
No.
There's no shot in any world." So he definitely underperformed. He is looking like he has a knee injury. We're gonna actually should be finding out something probably within the next 30 minutes to an hour as it's being recorded. Of what if he's going to be playing this Sunday or not. The teams have to release their injury report on Wednesdays of each week.
Hmm.
So we will see what that looks like for Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. Um, I'll let you touch on that and we'll go into Burrow.
Yeah. You can never really judge a book by how they play against the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay.
Hmm.
Going back to my theory about the NFL refs and helping the small markets, smallest market in the NFL, without their help and without having the yellow towel on their side, there would be a lot of different outcomes in the past. And in this particular instance, I take it all with a grain of salt. Again, when all the lights are on them in the NFL playoffs, what happens to that team? How do they perform? How many Super Bowls in the last 10 years? Back to back Hall of Fame quarterbacks? Surely they both won multiple.
Back to back
All
to
right.
back, actually. Or if this guy turns out to be something.
We'll see. That remains to be seen. But my point being, I'm not worried about that team. They win the regular season year after year after year after year after year. Peyton, if that team had a 500 record against the Bears in the last 30 years, do you think they'd be relevant?
I do not think they would.
We are the crutch that holds up that franchise. They're a lot more fragile than you think they are.
They care about them beating you more than you care about beating them. Is that what you're saying? The little bro?
I think it's equally as much. However, for the people that say that they live in our heads rent free, who wrote a song about us?
Ew, did they?
You know how they say the Bears still suck? That's a song. They love to play when we're in town. Awful lot of effort for someone you say you don't care about.
Rent free.
Rent free. Do you know if there's a? You said that they'll release the report later on today, probably.
Yeah. Yep.
There's no time frame for how long Jaden Daniels might be out, huh?
It's looking like it's a minor knee injury. If anything, I would assume it'd be 1 week. Um, I don't see them holding him out 2 weeks. I would see it being one.
Okay, maybe one.
And that's
Uh,
sad because like you don't want to see that because then those lingering issues is what happened to RG3, and then RG3 turned into RG3.
right.
Like we don't want to see that from Daniel Daniels. We can't have another black quarterback go through that. So especially
No,
in
no,
the same DC is Chocolate City, baby. So
that's right.
um don't want to see that from them.
Right. Um, I think it'll be all right.
Yeah.
He'll bounce back.
We never root for injuries on this podcast.
No,
No.
but like you said, thank the Lord for the path He's given us if it benefits us.
I don't root for it, but she if it happens, I ain't gonna be mad about it. And then touching on Burrow in the last segment. Yeah, man, you have a good note here. Actually, I'll let you go first. You have a good note here.
Let me pull it up on my phone. For whatever reason, my computer wasn't like showing it on. It was just like freezing on the.
There's a parallel between
There we go.
him and Andrew. Him and Andrew.
I got it on my phone. Yeah, dude. Both amazing prospects that have panned out to be like MVP caliber quarterbacks, and they're just getting hit after hit after hit behind an awful line.
Yeah.
And dude, honestly, I think Andrew Luck was more of a cyborg than Joe Burrow is. Joe Burrow is like an average dude. I think that's what people like about him, just slinging the rock. Do we think that it's starting to get to him? All these injuries, all the like lack of investment around him. I mean, the Bengals
Yeah.
owners are cheap too.
Yeah. They're very cheap. I would definitely think that it's gotta affect you mentally. It's just we're going to week 3, man. This is a 17-week season, and we're potentially not. They're saying not going to see him until December or January.
That's
That's
crazy.
basically saying, all right, we'll see you next season then. Like
Mhm.
that's now out of his. I think this is his 5th year. I think out of his 5 years, he's only played 3 seasons,
Yeah.
and of those 3 seasons, he was hurt for half of them. So really, 2.5 seasons. He's played half the time basically for this Bengals team. And what he does when he has healthy seasons is make AFC Championship games, makes the playoffs. Like he does wonderful things for that Cincinnati team. So
Burrow
yeah,
era.
man, yeah, yeah. So it's not good for the game with him being injured.
No.
The better star power that we have, the better our product of football is, and it would suck to see him want to hang up the cleats early,
Hmm.
similar to Andrew Luck, because of being the most sacked quarterback and the time span that he's been in the league, man. Yeah, it's malpractice what they're doing over there in Cincinnati with not getting him help. Obviously, you signed T and Jamar to record-breaking contracts. They deserve it. They're ballers.
Yes.
Um, but damn, dog, like you couldn't get nothing out of the draft. You can't trade up. You can't do nothing to get an O line around this man. Like something. Um, We'll see. I think their whole draft needs to be offensive line and
Yeah.
potentially defensive line because they're gonna end up losing um
Trey Hendrickson.
the Trey Hendrickson this next season. I assume. I assume they're not going to sign him to a long term deal after only signing him to a 1 year, $33 million contract
Yeah.
this offseason, right before the season started. So yeah, we'll see, man.
Future Bear. I'm hoping. That'd be nice. Yeah, that's all I got for the time we got. I know you gotta get your lunch in. Any closing thoughts on the world at large?
We're in a scary spot right now, man. I think people are blaming each other for things. Um, I think that there's a lot more love that we could all give to each other, and I think that um, there's more of us than there are them. So I'll leave us with that. Um, it's good to have sports to distract us, but we should never let it um, take us fully away. You should always care about your brothers and sisters around you, and I love you guys.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, Peyton. I appreciate you coming on here and spreading the love to everyone. I hope everybody absorbs it that is listening. So we'll check back in next week. Appreciate you as always, Peyton. I love you, my brother.
Love you, brother.
And we'll talk to everybody next time. Thank you. All right, that was a fantastic interview with my good friend P Nutty. I'm gonna try my best to do this little Cubs talk while fending off our podcast producer. She's been fighting with me over creative differences, obviously. Currently watching the Cubs playing the Pittsburgh Pirates. They had an early game today, which was I don't mind it. 9:30 here on the West Coast when it started. So did all the interview with Peyton throughout the first little part of the game. Matthew Boyd giving up 4 runs through the first few innings is not ideal going into the final stretch of the season, knowing that he's probably going to be somebody that we have to rely on in October baseball for the playoffs. That's not you don't really want to see that. You don't want to think about like maybe he ran out of gas throughout the season. That's not ideal. But it's cool to see the Cubs kind of go through the struggles that they had in the middle of the season, the slump that they were all going through. And they are picking up their pitcher. Because as of right now, Matthew Boyd is not in line for the loss. Obviously not a quality start and not what you want to see, but they're rallying through it. It's currently the top of the 6th. Justin Turner just got a hit. We got another run coming in, so that makes it 3 runs in the top of the 6th. 7-4 Cubs. If the offense can continue this trend that we're seeing them go through right now, I'm not too worried about them going into the playoffs. Obviously, I think Milwaukee is going to end up running away with this division. They're 5 games up right now, and they're playing the Angels, who are not a good team. The Cubs obviously went and swept them this season, and I think that they'll also get swept by Milwaukee. It is what it is. Got to hand it to them. They got us. They had to do some historical type stuff, but they got us. So it is what it is. I do know that the Cubs will have the top wild card spot, so it's kind of like everything's playing in their hands. They've done enough to prove that they are the best, I guess, technically second-place team in the division. Well, in the National League, I should say, just to be more correct about it. Jesus, Sonny. And I feel okay about it. I know you can rely on Shota. I know you can rely on Cade Horton, as he's shown. Potentially Rookie of the Year. Honestly, we could say he's like a Cy Young contender. He has the same numbers that Jake Arrieta had when he won it in that second half of 2015. Ouch. So, yeah, I think the likely scenario will be that the Cubs might have to play Milwaukee in the first series, the NLDS, unless the Phillies can come through and really make a push for the first seed in the playoffs. In which case, I think the Cubs have a better case to be able to beat Milwaukee. For whatever reason, the Phillies have just owned the Cubs, and it has been that way for a few seasons. Not really sure when that started, but they kind of just have a mojo going about them where they have the Cubs number, and especially if they start that series in Philadelphia, I don't really have a whole lot of confidence going against them. They just got the juice. Philly's really having a moment right now. I'm sure Peyton will be happy to hear that once he gets to this part of the podcast. If we play Milwaukee and Milwaukee keeps it up, I think we got a pretty good chance of making the NLCS. So this might be the delusional Cubs take in me, but I think if the offense can come around like it's been showing the past few days, and obviously you take it with a grain of salt because we played against Pittsburgh and the Tampa Bay Rays, if they can continue the output of the offense like they have against these teams with better teams, which is obviously saying a lot, I think we're in a good spot. So those are really my only final thoughts going into the postseason. Yeah, it's an exciting time of the year. October is my favorite sports month. It's my birthday month. If anybody wants to send me any gifts. Yeah. I kind of like this. I kind of can't. I can't see what my face looks like. So whatever ends up getting uploaded on YouTube, it just is what it is. And I hope you guys are enjoying the antics that little Sunny over here, our producer, is up to. She's been aggressive today. She lost her collar last night at some point. Got caught on something, I guess is what my pretty little girlfriend told me. And it was a struggle to get it back on her. She does not like having it put on her. She doesn't mind it when it's on. But yeah, such are the trials and tribulations of being a cat daddy. Gotta look after my little one, because she would not be able to survive in the outside world. It's tough out there. It's stinky out there. It's hot out there. But in here, you know who runs the AC for you? I do. You know who gets you your food? I do. Because we love her. So, thank you for listening to us. I hope you enjoy our analysis. Hopefully, my fantasy team has a more, I don't know, a better win this upcoming season or upcoming week for fantasy. And I'll finish out this Cubs game. We're in good standing to finally clinch a wild card spot. Our magic number is 1, so if we win this, we're in. That'll be cool to see. And yeah, let me know in the comments if there's anything else you would like for us to touch on or want us to talk about, especially regarding the NFL. I know Peyton had some places to be after our interview, and we can obviously fit in whatever it is that you guys want to listen to, whatever teams you guys want to hear about. We watch everything, so we'll give you our expert analysis about it. So again, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate all of you, every single one of you, all my friends, family. Saludos a todos. And we'll come back next week. Until then, it's over.